Hey, this is Wesley. Welcome to my live show. And tonight I am going to be talking about a new program I'm going to be putting together. It's been kind of a long time in the making, trying to figure out what I'm going to be broadcasting. And I'm still going to be doing a lot of broadcasting stuff. But the thing that I'm asked about most is business. Business in the Philippines and how you create business. I've been a business consultant and an entrepreneur since I could probably walk. My earliest memories, I've been told, is me trying to sell things to kids in the playground, and that included selling bubblegum in high school, to all sorts of different things, to early on starting into photography and so on. So the podcast I want to put together is really kind of focused around the Philippines. And the Philippines has been kind of a challenge to me over the last years. I was in semi-retirement mode with my company in the U.S. My wife and I were traveling for almost 2.5 years. And that whole 4-hour work week kind of a concept, while it wasn't exactly 4 hours a week, I was definitely enjoying the traveling aspects of my career. And while I was continuing to run businesses back in the U.S., but as Marissa and I began to settle down here, we got hit with all sorts of different challenges. And for people who live in the Philippines, you probably know what I'm talking about. And that is talking about various different types of businesses and family and how to help out family and so on. So being an entrepreneur, I decided early on that I wasn't going to just hand out money, but I was going to actually teach business and teach people how to do business. That whole concept of, if you teach someone how to fish, they can fish for a lifetime, or you just hand them a fish, they're going to eat for a day. So, I ended up putting together an amazing crew of people. They're not here at the moment. This is just me, streaming. And so, but I am going to be bringing in EOL Studios. EOL Studios is kind of a brainchild of mine as I was beginning to explore different avenues of promoting the various different ventures that we're doing, namely El Umulufo, which is what you see behind me. I began to try to figure out where the creative people are here in the Philippines. And lo and behold, there is a ton of creative people here. And so I'm in the General Santos area. General Santos area is in the island of Mindanao in southern Cotabato. If you're not familiar with that, I'm not going to bring up any maps, but you can search for it. And it's interesting is that my wife and I, we lived in Manila for Makati for almost 3 years. And then right before the pandemic, we ended up just saying, oh, you know what? The city's not a good place for us to be. Let's head to your province, which is in Mindanao in southern Cotabato. And so through a course of events, one thing led to another. And if you've been following me for any time now, you know I've been building a resort for the last almost 2.5 years. And so you learn a lot along the way. And so this is my 6th business here in the Philippines that I've ended up putting together. And by far the most successful business so far, I have to admit. And so I wanted to put together a podcast about talking about business. And I've met a bunch of business owners in the course of a number of years. I'm like almost 6 years now, 7 years I've been in the Philippines. And so it's interesting, from small businesses to big businesses to foreign-owned businesses to local-owned businesses. This is kind of going to be the grounds for me to talk to them. But back to my El Umulufo Studios, or EOL Studios. So I put together this amazing team. Shout out to my whole team there. It's about almost 10 people. And they are a group of very, very talented videographers, photographers, graphic artists, writers, project managers, assistants, and what else am I figuring out? Video editors. So a whole team of people. And so we ended up doing two videos actually so far, official videos, and they went they went gangbusters. They went fantastic. And so in this course of like, okay, now I need to figure out how to promote this place and talking about business and so on. I'm like, wait a minute, I've got this great team of people here. What am I going to do with them? And I really want to keep them together and keep them busy. So lo and behold, actually, I probably haven't even told these guys yet. Hey guys, how are you? If you're seeing me out here, they're probably watching me like going, what are we doing here? So I'm actually going to have them do a weekly podcast with me to highlight businesses and talk about business. I belong to at least a dozen different expat groups in the Philippines and Thailand and some other expat groups, Vietnam, all the different countries that I've traveled and actually considered living in. And so one of the reoccurring things over and over and over again is, can we go to the Philippines and make money? Is it possible to make money? I mean, the question happens over and over and over again. And so if that is the question that you're answering, this show is going to be for you. Probably should have told you that in the first 3 seconds, but took me a little bit of time. But this show is going to be a longer show, and so it's not going to be a 5-minute show or even a 10-minute show. It's going to be more of a longer podcast. But the concept is that we're going to do a long podcast, probably in the realm of like a couple hours long, and then we're going to edit that down to like the really good parts, and then we'll have kind of a subscription-based system. So if you want to see the whole content and actually really get into the nitty-gritty of numbers and how to create and build businesses and build wealth in the Philippines or whatever country that you're living in, I'm going to talk about that. So I've been a business consultant for over 30 years. And I've had that professionally in the U.S. for a number of years, not only as an IT consultant, but a business startup professional. I've started up countless new ventures, mainly in the Pacific Northwest area and the Seattle area in the U.S., but now actually over in the Philippines here. So I'm going to tell you what works, what doesn't work. I'm going to be able to take in some of your questions and answer your questions quite matter-of-factly, because I've just been here for quite a while, and combined with my knowledge and experience. So hopefully I hopefully I will save you some time and some money going down various different venture paths. But that is it. What else do I have to say? This is going to be just basically an intro video. We haven't picked the time yet. We haven't picked the dates yet. But I am reaching out to, and I'll start tagging some of you business owners. So if you're a business owner out there, and I know many of you, shoot me a PM or shoot me a comment. I will be contacting you to see if I can host you on one of my podcasts. So talk about your business, talk about struggles you've gone through, things that you've learned, things that you wouldn't do again, things that you wish you would have done the first time. And, talk about what kind of money you're making. Is it livable? Is it sustainable? And so on. So, that's the kind of things I'm going to be doing on my podcast. And, so some of it's going to be on location. So hopefully I'll bring the whole crew out there and we'll do a podcast. Some of it's going to be remote podcasts where I'm going to be sitting here in my studio. And I'll have you call in, and it's a lot of times it's a different island or even a different country or a different island. So the idea is that I want to do a nice little background of you and your business, and then I want to have a discussion with you about business. That's it. And hopefully people can learn from that. And if you like this content, be sure to subscribe. Or follow or like or do all those sort of things that people do on social media. I think this is going to be on several different platforms, from YouTube to Facebook to, we'll probably dice up and slice up different pieces to put on the various different social media platforms as well. So we'll see you all out on the various different platforms. That's it. Well, let me see who's on. Now we got a few people watching. Hello, people. That's it. I've been thinking about this for a while. I'm like, what am I going to do with my team? And so we'll get a chance to show off some of their talents and get some production going. But this is it. This is Wesley. I'm broadcasting live from El Umulufo. That's our resort here in South Cotabato. And then the group we're going to be firing up is called EOL Studios. Great group of people. So stay tuned and take care. Leave your comments below in the section, and I will be sure to answer anything you have. Thanks. Take care.